Hey, what's going on, everybody? Keep Moments in full color, and today we're bringing you another Destiny 2 video. Now, originally, the thought was I was going to make a guide on raids that I think you should try out. But as I started making the video, I began to think, well, what if people don't really want to do raids, or what if they aren't very knowledgeable about what a raid is and the reason they should be doing them? So for this video, I actually just want to talk about why I feel like you should try a raid out. Now, I may still do the tiering of the raids to let you know, like, hey, which are the harder ones, and work our way into the easier ones and all of that. So right now, I actually just will come flat out and tell you. Now, the first three raids, I'm gonna wrap off. Those raids I think are great for first timers, and we'll start off with Eater of Worlds. I think Eater of Worlds is a great introduction into raids. After that, we have Scourge of the Pass, a little more difficult in some terms, but still another good introduction to a raid. The third being Crown of Sorrows, which of these three is the hardest, but it's still a good introduction to raids and mechanics. The next three, Leviathan would be a really good raid to get into. Not bad, but can be very unforgiving at times. Also, after that, we have Last Wish, which is my favorite raid of them all. I really enjoy Last Wish a lot, given the lore and everything behind that, but a difficult raid. And then we have Spire. Don't ever do Spire. I hate Spire. I stand by that. But like I said, this was about why you should do a raid. So for those who don't really know about what a raid is a mode in Destiny that requires 6 people to complete it. With these 6 people to complete it, it is a bigger space. It is a new space normally. Normally this is a space that you would not have gone to in a regular mission through the regular campaign. Normally raid spaces are kind of separate from everything else. So you're kind of going to a new place with a new objective, and that in itself is actually a really good reason to want to do a raid. Now, these raids have a lot of things going on with them. A lot of raids will have a jump puzzle and many other puzzles. Raids are different from strikes. So strikes, for the most part, you'll just go in and you're just gonna shoot everything, right? That's really all you're gonna do in a strike. You don't have many strikes with mechanics. I think the Corrupted Strike is a good example of how that's kind of different from other strikes. The Corrupted Strike, you need to get the little orb, you know, you gotta throw it at the witch to break her shield. Now let's think of raids like that, but times 5. You know, they're much different yet similar mechanics, but at the same time, the one thing that you need in a raid is good communication. Good communication is what's gonna make the raid. If it's bad communication, it's gonna break the raid wholeheartedly. You need to be able to communicate with one another. Also, there may be times that you're in teams of 2, in teams of 3, and you really only want to communicate with one other person, but you have 5 other people shouting and saying things. So you have to be able to discern people's voices. It can be a mess. It can just be mind-boggling and frustrating, especially when you're running raids with people whom you don't normally run with, so it's hard to figure out voices. It can be absolutely maddening. Glitches do occur. You know, the boss is supposed to do this one thing, he's not, and it's just a glitch happening. You had a good run. Oh man, the DPS isn't great. There can be so many just frustrating things when it comes to completing a raid. But the thing about it is, once you complete an encounter, it's such a good feeling, especially if you walk it. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing an encounter and you just walk through it very easily, your team is communicating, you're helping out, you're doing stuff very well. It's an amazing feeling when that's going down. So yeah, raids can be tough in terms of if the communication is bad, or if you have one person who's learning slower than another person. So some people don't have patience for that, and I get that. But overall, I feel that the good that comes from the raid, the sense of accomplishment, the sense of, hey, I got to work with 5 other people in cohesion, and we all work towards a common goal. I had a job, and my one job helped another teammate do their job. And that's what a lot of raids are. They are, hey, you have a responsibility. If you do your part, it helps out the next guy do his part, and so on and so forth. So it's also a really great feeling of, you know, knowing like, hey, you know, I'm actually holding it down. You know, I'm the reason that, you know, my teammate can go and do what he does. So it's a really great, every little piece will end up making the whole in the end. Great feeling. The loot that comes from raids are normally top tier. You know, normally the loot itself that you get is just amazing. I can't speak enough about the loot that's possible from a raid space. You know, I've got some good stuff, and if you watch to the end of this video, you'll see kind of like my moment of pure bliss with this. So you get great loot, you get a new space to play in, you get a little bit more to the Destiny story, you get to make new friends possibly. So this is really good. Now, one negative thing is getting into raids. A lot of people will ask that you've completed this raid 50 times or something ridiculous. I don't know. It can be very tough to find a group who's willing to take you in. However, the best way is to download the Destiny 2 companion app, and on there is a tab that says fire teams. Now if you click on this tab, it'll say all activities near the top. You'll see something that says find fire team at the very top, search right below that, and all activities. If you tap all activities, you can actually filter that out, and this works really good for not even just raids. I mean, you can search Blind Well, you can search Crucible, Escalation Protocol, Forge, Menagerie, Nightfall, Reckoning. You know, you can pretty much filter it out so you're finding what you're searching for. But if you tap on that raid button, you'll start to see all sorts of posts in there. Now you see, like I said, you'll see a lot of people asking that you have 15 plus clears, or, you know, I'm not teaching you, so know what to do, and all that stuff. But you will find some people who are saying they're willing to, you know, work with you and try to get you through a raid. And shout out to all the Sherpas out there. You guys really are helping this community. You know, if you look at the numbers, not a lot of the Destiny community has completed a raid. So like, I think it's also really great for that alone. And upon doing this video, I thought to myself, this would be really cool. So I have been raiding more lately than before, and my friends and I, we've all been raiding a lot more together, and pretty soon we will start up something to try to get people through raids that haven't had the ability to find a group that's patient and willing to teach. So part of this video was, you know, I want people to at least entertain the idea, and the other half is to say that, hey, I do want to be the solution to the issue of people not feeling welcome because there's some toxic groups out there and toxic people who don't want people in raids with them if you've never done one. So I'm here to say that the Night Raid clan will shortly, we're all kind of learning some stuff and how to best to explain encounters, but we all will be helping people get through raids for their first times, their second times, third times. People who are, you know, people just have general questions. You know, if you've ran a raid 5 times, but you're like, hey, I was always afraid to ask, you know, we will have that set up, and more information about that will be posted soon. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I really think that you should check out raids. If you've never done one, start with Eater of Worlds. Download that Destiny 2 companion app. You can filter that out and try to see if there's a group on there that says that they're teaching. All right, but stay on the lookout for more information. We'll be posting that at some point in the near future, hopefully before Shadowkeep, but maybe after Shadowkeep pops off, because we might be pretty busy trying to grind out that type of content. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Thank you so much. Be sure to follow us, subscribe to us, notification button. You guys know the drill. All right, we all appreciate you. Thank you so much, and as usual, be blessed, be easy out there, Guardians. Peace.
All right.
Yes!
Keith, what you get? Oh, well,
Yes!
you got it.
Yes! It fucking finally happened.
Nah, I'm just guessing, but I think you got it.